So we have 50 voices in this book. Mary Beth and I decided that every woman has a story. Every single one of you has a story in here. And so we have 37 women who answered 12 questions. And so Changing Hands was gracious enough to allow us to come here. And so what we like to do is we like to profile the women in our book. And this evening you're in for a treat because we have 5 very powerful voices that are in our book. An interesting fact is that in all of the ways in which we grow ourselves, improve our circumstances, develop confidence, nurture relationships, and make a difference in the world is through our work. We are the something. Tonight we have 5 examples of how seeds of destiny have been transformed in these women business owners.
What drove us was the opportunity to feature these fantastic women who have accomplished so much here in our own community. You know, we read a lot about female entrepreneurs in New York and Chicago and San Francisco, but we wanted to highlight what's happening here in our own community. I never heard the word female entrepreneur when I was a young girl. I had an aunt who owned a dry goods store, which is sort of a mini version of a Walmart. And she was a business owner, and it was only as an adult woman that I realized she was the epitome of a female entrepreneur. Hilda and I collected, profiled, and published nearly 80 women's stories in our first 2 books of the Living Brave series. During the interview process, we became acutely aware that business is a very integral part of the fabric of these women's lives. Many are leaders and successful entrepreneurs exhibiting tremendous grit in their daily endeavors to not only build a successful business, but to make a difference in our community. We have Lucia Schnitzer of Lucy's Healthy Marketplace, Jackie Wozlak of Modlux Printing, Cindy Dash, Changing Hands Bookstore, Kimber Lanning of Local First, and Jackie Ulmer, social media strategist. Tell the story of your passion and purpose that kept you inspired and moving forward.
Right, and the work that we do in rural communities is another example of justice. You know, poverty in rural Arizona has increased 65% in the last 25 years, and I'm fortunate to be a person that takes negative and turns it into positive. And instead of letting it consume, you see these things that are unjust, and you just wake up every day to fight them. So,
what advice would you give someone starting a business you wish someone had given you?
Don't do it alone. Find a tribe that supports you. Don't buy a business if you're not ready for a huge spiritual adventure.
What voices keep you up at night, and how do you manage them?
And so that's what keeps me up at night, is just, am I a good enough mom? Am I doing enough for my kids? Being a good example. And even as a mother, they see that I work very hard.
The question we have for you from the book this evening is, what roadblocks stopped you and made you brave along the way?
For every obstacle that we have that we feel can hold us back, whatever it is, whether it's a physical challenge, an emotional challenge, a financial challenge, there's always somebody else out there who's done what you wanted to do with a situation far worse than yours. You are good enough. You are worthy enough. Whatever that idea is that burns inside of you, whatever your passion and your mission is, there is somebody out there that's waiting to hear that message from you. Don't let your own inner critic be the thing that stops you, because you'll deny yourself of the fabulous opportunity to get your message out there, but you're also going to deny other people of the opportunity of knowing that you're out there and having your words and your inspiration fall on them.
You are not the same person you were a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You are not the same person. There's a transformation that happens for every single one of us. Describe the transformation of you, of who you have become from the beginning of your business to now.
Between the two is I really liked producing things that I cared about. And that's how I ended up in the book business, because I wanted to make help authors become the rock stars that they should be, because books change lives, and I very much believe that. So the next years really became about humility. And I think what's so hard for women is we have to walk into interviews, we have to walk into situations, and we have to be confident. But we have to be humble at the very same time. And I think that's one of the things I've learned how to balance, is how to try to mentor people and lead people and have future leaders take on things and be excited by what they do, but be confident and humble at the same time. And I think that was the biggest thing for me, was learning how to be humble and confident at the same time.
Have you enjoyed this evening? Show of hands. Yeah, thank you.